So even though you know I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, I have never finished Dark Souls 2. Ever. A lot of people seem to have strong opinions about this game, so it's about damn time I make my own. So I create my character and go get it. I played Dark Souls 2 a few times, but not far enough that I can make a valid opinion about it, you know? So now we're gonna change that. I'm actually gonna play through the whole game and not quit out. I promise. Facing the first enemy made me realize what I haven't missed about this game. Playing Dark Souls 1 Remastered and Dark Souls 3, those are great games. But with this one, the jank is real. But as you know, there's no issues here. Usual business. The tutorial is getting skipped so hard, it turns into a rock. Say what you want about this game, but you just cannot hate Majula. It's the best hub area in all of Souls games. It's still sad that the first order of business here is to commit a murder. I'm sorry, my man. I just had to do this. We're after the Forest of the Fallen Giants. Here we go. And yes, here I'm also reminded that in the Scholar of the First Sin, there are a lot of enemies. A shit ton of enemies. Also, when I get to the gate and try to open it to access the bonfire, I get reminded that the aggro range with the enemies in this game, it's something else. After I get the bonfire, I grab the stuff upstairs and head to the next area. For some reason, I'm confident that I can take Control Zero, but once he hits me once, I know I'm way over my head here. One firebomb equals one shortcut. Just be careful not to get nuked here. And yet again, I have nothing to compare this with. I have never played the vanilla, but some of the enemy placements in this game, they are kinda sus. Of course, being a Dark Souls veteran, I'm prepared for this stuff. But imagine being a first-time player and you decide to play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. You're gonna get pummeled. Anyways, I grab the shortcut and head for the first boss. There is like 50 bosses in the game. The last giant has been penetrated in the hardest way possible, and I really feel for the guy. He frees himself from the chains and bashes at me. The last giant might seem intimidating as a first boss, but he's all bark, no bite. Just watch out for these stumps and attack the legs. That's all. Also, the dildo attacks are super easy to dodge. Just roll towards him and you'll be good. After this super easy fight, I'm not surprised that he was the last of the giants. I used the souls for this merchant to get her to Majula. I need her later. And by later, I mean right away. I go in and buy all the life gems I can get. I also open up the blacksmith so that fat ass can get to work and I can upgrade my weapons. So far so good. We're going for strength build, obviously. The blacksmith is good since you can buy a weapon you can play through the whole game if you wish. I'm not gonna do that, but you could if you wanted to. That's kinda nice. Time to run for the next boss. And remember, there are no iframes in this game. Prosura comes in like a Chad, but hits the brake lights as soon as he sees my new mace. Luckily, I'm not gonna need it since I know the speedrunning tactic for this fight. But always make sure that you whiff the shot. Luckily, he doesn't break the ballistas, so I still have a chance. I lure him to the corner and dodge his pathetic swing. See you later, alligator. After the boss fight, we are off to Lost Bastille. I kid you not, leveling adaptability is always a pain, because I have to use my precious souls for this. God damn it, whose idea was this? But don't you worry, we're gonna be overpowered soon enough. And oh yeah, remember to grab this Estus flask from Majula. After coming down the stairs and pulling the smallest lever of all Souls series, we're heading off to the next area. The amount of enemies they have put in this place is just plain stupid. There's no hiding from it. It's just stupid. I would like the boss to be the challenge, not the run to the boss. For Dragon Rider, I still try to do the speedrun tactic. Wasn't it 7 steps? How did I fumble that? But either way, Dragon Rider is one of the easiest bosses of the whole Souls series. He only has like 3 attacks, which are incredibly easy to dodge, and he takes a ton of damage. Not really a recipe for success. And as you would guess, with a few mediocrely strong swings, he goes down. And since I'm not here only to play the game but to beat it, I head for the optional boss as well. Getting to the optional boss requires for you to clear out the area and pull these tiny levers that appear. Also, you have to take out this dragon. I use the cheese tactic. Don't judge me. Lower the bridge and get ready to fight Ornstein. I've seen that a lot of people have a strong opinion about this fight, and for me, I don't like it. I don't like this fight. And that's for only one reason. I don't really like that they have made this iconic character from Dark Souls 1 such a weakling in this one. I would have preferred to face Ornstein in the later game, in the end game, where he's actually challenging. That would have been great. The actual fight is pretty standard Dark Souls stuff. Get behind him, get a few backshots in, get the hell out of here. At the end, I find this rude NPC and I'm tempted to murder him right here, right now. I go talk to the cat and buy the ring I need to get down to the well, even though there are many things I don't love about the game. But this one, I kinda like. Just be sure to stick this jump. Luckily, using a bunch of souls and jumping down a well rewards you with this amazing boss fight. I also hate the fact that these rat dipshits are the first boss I die to. I chuck one Estus and you can see the absolute disgust in my eyes. I lure the common rats to the other side of the room and beat the living hell out of the main one. The victory achieved has never felt so meaningless. Little parkouring later, we're off to the land of poison. Let's do a little bit of a quiz here. The Gutter versus the Blight Town. Which one is worse? Tell me in the comments right away. To me, this is worse. because in Blighttown you can actually see where the hell you're going. Anyways, after that incident in the gutter, I decided to continue the game in the other side of the map. I find this elevator and down we go. And it wouldn't be a Dark Souls game without basilisks. When I get to the next bonfire, I'm trying to figure out how in the hell did I use the torch system in this game. It would be really useful for this next area. Well, I guess we're going in dark. No Man's Wharf is just another one of these areas which has been made difficult by packing it with hordes of enemies. Luckily, I actually remember where to go, so this place isn't totally pain in the ass. Also, fun fact. This guy, he doesn't aggro you if you don't hit him. When I get to this part, I'm really missing the torches. I would have needed those. Okay, here we go. When the place has been finally cleared, we call in the ship and kick down this shortcut. Also, look what I found in my adventures. As for weapons go, we are set up for the whole game. While heading to the area's boss, I'm feeling super confident because I know I'm kinda OP with this weapon. But surely I paid the price for that confidence and get blasted off to heavens. Taste this, you piece of shit. But jokes aside, fighting a boss in a sinking ship where the water rises in the boss arena, that's a good move. I love this. One last swing and the sentry goes down. After this, I use the ship to ride to the promised land. Unfortunately for me, the promised land turns out to be a lost Bastille, so now I actually have to explore this place. But not before heading back to Majula to level up, of course. I don't really have a problem with Lost Bastille. This is just one of those places where I have had some issues before, some incidents, might I say. But you cannot save yourself from every accident, right? When back alive and well, we push down this barrel. Give that a smack and you'll unlock the bonfire and the blacksmith. These goddamn statues I hate. You're telling me I need to use these items that are super hard to find to advance in the game. Anyways, time to clear out this place as well. Let's go. Only 10,000 enemies. Quick trip to the blacksmith and to the bonfire, and we're off to the next boss. On my way to the next boss, I gotta say, even though I talk a lot of smack about the game, I'm actually really enjoying it. There are just these tiny things that annoy me, and I gotta comment on those. That said, the next boss is Ruin Sentinel, which is an absolutely abysmal boss fight. Luckily, I can take on the first guy one-on-one, and look at that damage. It's kinda nice. The first one goes down easily, but now the real trouble begins. I'm trying to play it smart and only aggro one to jump to the platform with me. And to my surprise, I actually succeed in this. But hey, you know me, I fumble it. The rest of the fight is just running around the arena, being super careful and taking every shot you can get. Well, I'm glad that's done. Oh, sweet reward. Beneath the bonfire I just find Perseus already waiting. Apparently he didn't get fucked enough in the first meeting, so he has come around for seconds. By the way, here is the most Dark Souls moment of all time. Come on, you'll need to subscribe for that. Seriously, my guy isn't looking too well after that. Anyways, fog wall, bonfire, Majula, level up, shopping spree, and the elevator down. Here we go. The next part is filled with water, which makes the movement kinda clunky. And of course the sentry, that thing shows up for seconds as well. Thank god the Lost Sinner boss fight isn't too far away, so we can continue the action. Lost Sinner will soon realize he just should have stayed lost. I actually enjoy this fight, but this ghost bro is annoying as hell. First we trade blows, and I get caught using the slowest Estus drinking animation of all time. Good thing for me, I always learn from my mistakes. I told you, third time's the charm. After a decently hard battle, the Lost Sinner is history. That's also my first great soul of the game. Also in Dark Souls 2, the areas do not loop back around to the hub world, but there are these primal bonfires that teleport you there. This isn't a big deal, but hey, it would be nice that the areas connect. Even though I talk shit about this game at some points, it doesn't mean that the other ones are perfect. Dark Souls 3 is pretty close, but in Dark Souls 1, we have lost Isolith and a bit of chaos. Do I even need to say anything else? Anyway, I hired this woman to turn this place around. Apparently, I cannot use the contraption myself. I give her the good old stun lock and get the hell out of here. Just seeing the hue of this next area, I know we are in for a treat. I scale down the walls and take out the homeless hobos who live there. Who doesn't enjoy poison areas in Dark Souls games? I do. Tell me, what poison area is the worst in all of Souls games? Tell me in the comments. I take it extra safe with this invader. I take it so safely that the game teleports me back to the bonfire. Also, this next invader, I gotta say, he just isn't the smartest one of them all. After killing 10,000 enemies and skeletons, I just run for the boss fight. This is another example of those areas where the run and the area before the boss fight is super hard and annoying, but then the actual boss fight is just a joke. What's the reasoning behind this? I want a reward at the end of the area, not this. Like, who thought this would be a good idea? Hey, this is a good idea for a boss. Yeah, let's include that. What? Anyway, while playing around with this last one, I gotta give it to the game. At least they tried something new. In Dark Souls 1, every single boss fight is kinda standard 1v1, but at least they tried something new with this one. And I guess I didn't have a terrible time with this, so hats off. We shall lower the bridge and my expectations for the rest of the game. More poison. God fucking damn it! No, just kidding, I knew this was coming. But I didn't expect to get bombed to shit in the poison area. When I go in again and try to get my revenge, I get absolutely blasted. Who is this woman? At the end of the area, we face one of the most memorable bosses of all time. The Keep Smelter Demon has an interesting tactic for the fight. His ultimate tactic is to make me fall asleep, so he can bust out his moves and kill me. Luckily, I came in prepared with 800 milligrams of caffeine in my system and I took him out. Just good times. Unfortunate for me, the good times are about to end. This area ain't so bad. It's only hard to navigate, filled with poison, filled with enemies, and filled with narrow corridors. What could go wrong? I'm honestly kinda surprised that there is even a bonfire here. But still, nothing is more fun than to get poisoned before the boss fight. Am I right? Mytha kinda reminds me of the modern day feminist, as she is hard to deal with and she poisons everything around her. Luckily, I have plenty of life gems, but they are all gonna go to use. If I forget to use one, I can forget the victory as well. It's also super nice that every time I try to fight the boss, I have to kill these guys. Because there is no iframes on the fog wall. Anyway, I go in, pop one life gem right away, get poisoned of course, and get fucked. Here I'm super smart and try to lure out the enemies with arrows. Before I head to the boss fight, I decide to clear out the rest of the area. Then this happens. Damn you. I decide to make my life easier and burn down this rotating thingy. This should take most of the poison away from the boss arena. I definitely didn't look that up from the internet. No sir. Ah yes, this is the stuff. Mytha goes down without any issue. Just beautiful work. When taking the elevator up to the Iron Keep, Dark Souls 2 literally takes a shit on its own level design. You're actually telling me that this monstrosity of a castle, filled with lava and mountains, is on top of the tower we were just at. Not gonna lie, Iron Keep is probably one of the places that gets the most amount of heat in the whole game. I think Iron Keep is so great that I go for the gutter instead. Although even though now I can use the torch, this place is getting run past. I just make sure to grab all the valuables before I leave this place. Luckily, even if you just kinda know where to go, you can get past this place in under a minute with just one well-maneuvered jump. Also, by the way, what the hell is this? This is actually the type of shit that makes you wanna quit the game. And referring to my previous comment, nothing like getting down here and breaking your whole armor set. The Black Gulch. Hell yeah. This is the place that is solely responsible for me quitting the game last time, since I lost my sanity here. Even though I beat the area, I was never the same man afterwards. This place got the better of me. So now I know exactly what to do. I have it all figured out. Luckily, the Rotten is an easy boss, and I have some special plans for him. Well done, bud. Well done. Once I got him down, I have an absolutely devious plan. I use this bonfire thingy and go kill him again. And again. This gives me a few level ups and the confidence I need for the Iron Keep. Not gonna lie, Iron Keep went so much more smoothly than the last time. I actually kinda enjoyed it. That sounds like a wrong thing to say, but I did. But yeah, the enemy placement here, it's garbage. But being a total maniac, I don't go for the bonfire. I go straight for the boss. I'm confident. Last time Smelter Demon really pummeled my ass, but now everything is different. I don't know what it is. Last time I got absolutely hammered by him, but now this just feels like a cakewalk. He got me now and there, but who gives a fuck? At the end I almost fumbled the whole fight, but luckily I take him out as well. I actually died 0 times in Iron Keep. I can't believe it. I use all the souls I've been saving this far and hit an absolutely massive level up. Oh, the satisfaction. Now I'm able to use this cool new armor. How about that? This is truly the champion of all tank builds. The enemies in the next area see me and say, "Cool armor bro, burn in hell." At that same moment, I decide that these enemies do not deserve my attention and I can actually see them cry. They have literally just been waiting for me here this entire playthrough and now I just run past them. Talk about a useless life. When I get to this narrow corridor, the tank bro tries to block my path. This is another prime example of those "I'm not here trapped with you, you're here trapped with me" situations. Next up, I dodge the fire traps, scale up this ladder, and what do you know, another bonfire. And remember, all of this is above the poison area tower, somehow. Apparently, the old Iron King has put all of his ability points to intimidation and none to strength. I hate the fact that this boss fight had so much potential, but ended up being one of the gimmick ones. Just make sure that you watch out for these holes in the floor. Also, remember to level up adaptability. Other than that, this fight is kinda easy. His attacks are absolutely monstrous. After that, he just sits there and lets you beat him to death. What? Why? Rolling through these massive swings, it's kinda satisfying, but this cannot be the whole thing. One last swing and old Iron King isn't getting any older. At the end of the area, we find our second primal bonfire. Next up, I free up this lovely lady to advance in the game. And to make her happy, I give her my old armor set. I find this big door and this big ass knight, but it turns out I cannot go through here yet. I need to produce the symbol of the king, which means I need the king's ring. Back to the other way, I found Grand Lake Castle. Talk about great area reveal. 10 points for Dark Souls 2. Manny from Ice Age is guarding the bridge, but he gets taken out in no time. And to gain access to inside the castle, you need to kill these peasants in front of the door so their souls will transfer to the statues. How should you be able to figure this out without the internet? Is there some prompt in the game that tells you this? Some item description mentions this? Some NPC just yaps about this in his or her dialogue? And one more thing to complain about, I'm sorry, but when you get inside the castle, these massive staircases, this isn't the main path. The main path is hidden. It's in the corner. You just need to find that. Anyway, sorry, that's the last one. We're moving on. Since now we're slowly drifting to the area I remember nothing about, I kill every enemy and open every single door. One sweet stun lock later, another invader goes down. Damn you dragon riders. They have come back for revenge. The other one dashes at me, but the other one is hiding like a coward and shooting arrows. When the opportunity arises, he joins in the fight. When the first one goes down, it's time for business. Have you ever seen anything so satisfying? Next up, I take this easy to find ladder to advance in the area. I kid you not, if Osama bin Laden would have been hiding in here, no one would have been able to find him, and he would be still alive. When I say hello to the horsey, I'm just thinking, why is this a mini-boss? You just had 2 dragon riders in the same arena. Why didn't you just put this thing in there? But as for my character, I think my strength level, yeah, it's enough. I go through the Valley of Death and face the Looking Glass Knight. I gotta give him credit, not many bosses can block my shots while I'm using this sword. Somehow in every game I like these sort of fights more, where you actually fight a soldier. It's not like a mountain-sized enemy who has a ton of AoE attacks I gotta run away from. But Looking Glass Knight, I'm just not too sure about this tactic against me. You better think it over, pal. In the end he gets one lucky shot in, but I finish the fight shortly after that. I take this big ass elevator down. Then I arrive to the Shrine of Amana. I have heard tales and horror stories about this place. Apparently in the Scholar of the First Sin version of the game, Shrine of Amana is absolute pain. It's just packed with enemies who shoot magic things, and you're gonna die. You're just gonna die a lot, so be prepared. Before I go to that place, I decide to go to this place to open that chest to get this ring. If Shrine of Amana will truly be a pain in the ass, I wanna be as high of a level as I can before I go there. So I go for the other areas I haven't yet cleared. By the way, did you know that there is a shortcut in here? Because I didn't. In my first playthrough I didn't finish. The Scorpion King's wife is already waiting for me, and I beat the living hell out of her. She literally attacked me 4 times during this whole fight. I don't know what was going on with the AI. That surely isn't it. Dodge and attack. Take this tiny little hole in the wall and we're moving on. I proceed to absolutely pummel the enemies in the next area. Look at this. I don't even know how am I so powerful. Yeah, I killed Rotten 2 more times than you should, but that's not too many levels. It's like 7 or 8 in total. Seeing the markings on this door, I know what to expect. But I'm not surprised that I forgot this boss. There's nothing to remember here. But hey, I achieved my first ever no-look kill on any Dark Souls boss. Just make sure you use the torch on this area and you're all good. But I still take out the spiders. I don't trust these guys. Even though I'm equipping the torch, this place is still... it's not one of my favorites. Just watching this cutscene makes the chills go down my spine. Luckily the actual boss isn't too bad when you're using the torch. There's not really much to say about this fight. She has 2 heads, wait for one of them to attack, run to the other side, attack, repeat, repeat and repeat until you're done. I just don't know whose thought process this was to give a spider boss a laser. What? Where did that come from? A couple of rounds around the boss arena and the big ass spider goes down. I try to be extra cinematic with the next primal bonfire and get absolutely destroyed. This random NPC appears from the floor and starts his yapping marathon. After smashing the skip dialogue button, he finally disappears and I get to light the bonfire. Only 1 more to go. Also getting the greatsword to a +10 while already soft capping the strength level. That's kind of a confidence boost. Try it. I recommend it. Okay, here we go. The last stretch of the game. Leave a like and subscribe to wish me luck. I'm not gonna lie, the first part of Shrine of Mana, that wasn't too bad. And I was ignorant enough to think that this was it. This was what people had been warning me about. But no, how I was wrong. For the first run, I just clear every single enemy, be extra cautious. You know the deal. Yeah, these mage dudes, they're kinda annoying but doable. I don't know what the big fuss is about. Then I die for the first time. And actually when recording this video, I said to myself, okay, I understand now. After I try to go back to get my souls and get murdered from this guy who appears from the water, I understand it even more deeply now. Like the annoying enemies weren't enough. It's funny, even though I didn't speak during the recording, I can see from my gameplay that I was scared and desperate. And yet again, after one of the most hardest and most annoying areas in the whole Souls series, we have this boss, Demon of Song, who tries to sing you to sleep. He just hides behind his foreskin and shows up to jerk me off. When you can emote during the fight, you know it's a joke. I finish him off and get the hell out of here. But for my surprise, the fun isn't over. Moving towards the end of the game, every enemy and every area was new to me, so it was kinda exciting. Only issue was, I had to look up tutorials way too much. I couldn't find my way. A boss fight with a cool cutscene. Hell yeah, let's go. Few of the previous boss fights before this one had been, how do I say this, underwhelming, but this one I actually enjoyed. Wellstad was a great fight. Just a simple knight with a kinda simple moveset. Clear 101. That's a recipe for success. This fight actually took a little bit of time. I had to use my heals, learn the moveset. It was great, but in the end I charged at him and finished the job. After the fight, all of the minions show up to see what the hell is going on. And finally, here we go. All this way for this one single item. The King's Ring. Before moving on, I buy the Ring of Whispers that allows me to talk to this Scorpion dude, who gives me one of the better rings in the game. This is just like the Ring of Favor in Dark Souls 1, so I gotta have it. With the King's Ring equipped, this massive door finally opens. Here we go. I mess up the invader and wonder what the hell is happening inside this carriage. Hello? At the top of the stairs, I find this massive basilisk just waiting for me. I'm just happy there isn't many of these in the game. Downstairs, I find these enemies in a pool of water guarding some important items. Naturally, being such a loot goblin, I take them out to get the loot. But for some reason, this goddamn water breaks every single piece of armor and ring I have. What? Still being a cocky bastard, I decide to go through the fog wall, only to find a boss hiding at the other side. I try to use my pathetic escape, but yeah, I get scorched. When I respawn at this faraway bonfire, it takes me 10 million years to emotionally recover. After giving the blacksmith enough money to retire, naturally I know the place where to take my anger out. I kinda feel bad for the rotten, but then again I don't, since I remember what this place did to me the last time. After that I use the souls I collected and hit one of the most satisfying level ups of all time. Let's see who's laughing now. See ya later, skater. When arriving to Dragon Aerie, I'm actually excited, since this is the place I've seen the most amount of videos from. And I absolutely loved this little tiny camera shake effect they put on your character when you walk through the bridge. Nice. Real nice. And would you look at that? Actually a manageable amount of enemies in here. A+ so far. Well done. I also decide to use the first luckstone of the whole playthrough here, but being a total fucking imbecile, I just look at the glow on the wall and do nothing about it. After one of the biggest stairs I have ever seen, I find one of the biggest dragons I have ever seen. The beast gives me the Ashen Mist heart, which I need to advance to the final boss. I also need to go all the way back to the Forest of the Fallen Giants to go through these giants' memories. I didn't really care for this. The memories end with me trying to beat the Giant Lord. I'm not gonna even waste my time and words to this fight. Just skip to the next one. Now, here we go. Here we go. This is what I and you have all been waiting for. The run to the final boss is cool as hell. Still, I cannot explain why the location of the final boss has to be a hidden secret. Before actually facing the final boss, I need to clear out this scum. Luckily, my +10 greatsword just melts through them. After the fight, the cutscene begins. In the cutscene, I am introduced to the final boss of the game. The arena is cool, the cutscene is cool, and the boss's design is cool. Please be a good one. But fighting Nashandra was one of the most disappointing experiences of my Dark Souls playthrough history. All of that build up for this. This shouldn't be a final boss. She literally had under 5 moves, which were all easy to dodge. When I gave her the final blow, I was actually thinking that this cannot be it. There has to be a second phase or something else. This cannot be it. I give a little victory dance for the footage, but I'm actually dead inside. The ending cutscene is the usual Dark Souls stuff. I have no clue what's going on, so I'm not gonna even talk about it. Now when I have officially beaten Dark Souls 2, I think I can give an honest review of the game. I enjoy Dark Souls 2, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. But also I completely understand that some of you don't enjoy this at all. There are a lot of things to hate about this game. But if you look past those things, you might find yourself having a quite enjoyable experience, like I had. The low point of this game were the boss fights. It's just the way it is, and that shouldn't be the case with Dark Souls. Maybe the DLC bosses are better, I don't know, I might try that out, but not today. Leave a like if you wanna see me do that. After the end credits, I kill Rotten 2 more times, and these are my levels at the end of the playthrough. See ya!